Hello and welcome. Thanks for taking a few minutes to join me. I'm Fred Wookerfenning, Principal at Schmidt Associates. In this brief video, we'll discuss what is a sales process audit, how do we develop it, and what do we gain from it. The first step on the path to consistent sales growth is to audit the current operational condition of the sales department. Now, whether it's documented or not, every business has a sales process. So this audit will identify that process and how it compares with the best practices that we have identified over the past 15 years with businesses from around the country, and will make recommendations on how to improve. The sales audit consists of an interview which takes 60 to 90 minutes of time from the owner or general manager of the business. There's a series of questions which are designed to identify the current sales process, method of doing business, and manner of how prospects are identified. What kinds of questions are involved? Well, over the past 15 years of working with other companies, we have identified more than 30 best practices that the best performing companies include in their sales process. We ask specific, targeted questions designed to probe how the company compares to these best practices. Now you might be thinking, but my company is unique. What does someone else's best practice have to do with my company? And that's a good question. It turns out that these best practices transcend industry and location and apply to nearly all companies. The application of them varies, but the universal truth of the best practice still applies. For example, one of the best practices is to identify the source of the company's best quality leads. Now this may seem obvious, having been stated, but we find that very few companies actually know where they get their best quality leads and where they get poorer quality leads. Once the best lead source is identified, the company can take steps to exploit these best sources for more of the better quality leads and reduce expenditures in those areas where they're getting poorer quality leads. Now this best practice will apply to every company that wants new customers, regardless of the industry or location. Now the sources will vary and the methods used to extract more of the top quality leads will vary, but the best practice of knowing where you're getting the best quality leads will apply universally. So once the questions have been answered, we take the resulting data and analyze it. We create a custom report documenting how the business compares to the best practices. In this report, we make recommendations on where attention should be focused to provide maximum improvement in the quickest possible time. We provide this sales process audit for only $500. Even though there is literally thousands of dollars worth of value in the report and the recommendations that are provided at the conclusion of the audit. We don't want to have a business owner not do the audit because of the price. So we do it very reasonably so that every business can see the value to taking this step. Now we prefer to do this audit as a standalone step for several reasons. First, we're not asking the business for a significant investment with a relatively small working knowledge of each other. And we want to be able to demonstrate delivering value to the company. We also want a chance to work together so that we get to know each other a bit, so that we have a comfort level that should there be interest in working together on an ongoing basis, we're confident that we'll be successful in doing that. At the conclusion of the sales process audit, we provide a detailed report and make recommendations on the next steps that the business might take to bring its sales process into better alignment with these best practices. Now the business owner can of course choose to accept or ignore those recommendations. If the business chooses to implement any or all of the recommendations, they may choose to do it on their own or by retaining us to implement those changes in association with them. In conclusion, the sales process audit is a low-risk way for the business to gain vital knowledge of how they compare with best practices. It also is a low-risk way for them to get introduced to a partner to help implement those changes if desired. We have a wide range of how we might structure a working relationship, either project-based or fractional sales management-based. Now, we find most commonly that the fractional sales management approach is more cost-effective and provides the most value to businesses. The typical fractional sales management agreement is only $3,000 a month, so it's very easy for us to deliver value against that relatively small investment of the company. Thanks for spending some time with me. For more information, visit jacobschmidtassociates.com.